Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20, Week 5. Today we're taking another look at, you can't see because chat's kind of in the way of that, but you know, whatever, it's, you know who it is. It is, I have no words and I must ping. Oh, I must scream. I said in a description last week, that would have been a much better name for the Hollywood team. I have no words and I must ping. I think that works better. Taking on the two towers, which I insisted as Space Cowboy, the T2 towers would have been better. So the two teams that could have had better names. And with me here again, once again is my 2 Karma, who is going to sound and act the exact same as he did in the last match. Right, my 2 Karma? Damn, you're doing a really great job so far.
Oh, he's in chat.
Oh, he is in chat. Shoutouts to you. It's okay. I get you. So what's actually happened is my 2 Karma tagged out, Tiki tagged in, and I'll probably, just to be a maximum pain in the ass, I'll probably Shanghai him into Game 1 of the next series, and then have somebody else Game 2 of the next series, just to make it all confusing and weird. So that'll be fun. Mostly the same bands, interesting Jakiro ban. Oh, Looter's back. Uh-oh. They couldn't win with JBay, and now Looter is back. Ooh. Which is not a diss against Looter. In fact, I think he's a big part of what makes the Hollywood team good. He's a big part of their success. I think a lot of their slumping record recently is not having him around. But also, JBay was like Divine 2 recently. Looter was not calibrated recently because before the season started, he hadn't played since like 2023, about as long as Lotus. So, you know, nothing against Looter, but between those two, I think there's a clear argument to make at who's probably going to be doing better for you behind the wheel right now. Interesting to ban the Dawnbreaker again. I said last time, I guess you guys are all here. Does anybody else play Dawn on this team besides Space Cowboy, or is he really just doing this because he's like, well, Space Cowboy might do Pause 1 Dawnbreaker? He might. Because I'm not going to pretend I have the best knowledge of Talissa's record. It's all about the Cowboy? True. I like the bands otherwise. Pretty much the same bands as his first game. Never know. You were about to say something there.
Yeah, I was. I'm just glad that all those bands. I hate all those heroes so much. The carry player's worst nightmare.
There you go. P1 Dawn could be lit. Could be burnt too.
I've seen some pro players play it, but they're also 10k MMR above us.
That is Space Cowboy mentality we're looking at in chat right there. I have never seen. Well, he kind of smashed it with the Hoodwink in Game 1, so at the very least he's good on Hoodwink. I have never seen such a good representation of what Space Cowboy is like than him saying, well, you know, you never know, Puzzle and Dawn could be lit in chat right now. I bet you we see it next week. Hoodwink Necro, that's so early on the Necro. That seems crazy to me. Like, this hero's alright, but Tristero, spoilers! On Spoil Draft, I don't know who anybody picked. For the record, for those of you who are not regular watchers, just to reiterate, when I go into these, I use this funny technique when I load it. I usually only tell this to my co-broadcasters, but today, everybody gets to know it. Whenever I go into these games, I put my hand in front of my face so I don't see what anything is. I don't know who won, I don't know what the lineups are, I don't know what the duration is, even. Because if I looked at that, I would see who won, you know. Literally as blind as a bat going into these. Again, the Shadow Fiend ban, I don't know if I'm down with. Everything else I'm fine with on the Dawn as well, but same bands, the exact same bands. Feels like they are setting up just an awesome game for, like, I mean, honestly, they're setting up an awesome game for the exact same guy again. Like, there's another really good-looking Huskar game. So far, they have the opportunity to pick later in the cycle. I would do it there. LC? Not
Also,
the
we're early
best,
for an
but-
LC pick.
Yeah, I don't think I like it very much right now, but you never know. I've definitely seen teams this season that counterpick themselves into the LC pick. Invoker, okay.
Yeah.
The Necro Rex Husk. Does he?
Yeah. Always at a low enough HP threshold to scythe.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Just simply buy Eternal Shroud. Ringmaster Quap, Faceless Void. Well, you guys tried this last week and it massively backfired on you, so it'll be interesting to see how it works this time. It's a much better looking game for it thus far. I'll say that much. Not knowing the P1 is very scary. Okay, I was gonna say, you better ban out the goddamn Wraith King. That is a nice thing here, is that they have picked a completely inflexible lineup. They're not gonna be running like Necro 1 or something crazy like that, right? Like, they're not gonna be able to pick like the Abaddon here. Or at least they shouldn't. I mean, another team did that this week and got away with it, but that was an act against God, because the Brion team threw. I'm not gonna be able to pick like an Abaddon 1 here. So as long as the bans are screened out well for it, I don't really have time this time. I think that was a real problem last time you guys ran this lineup, is that you just showed the card too early. You just made it too obviously you're doing too quickly, and they were able to just completely knock it out. You had too many things that were just very obvious counterpicks to it left in the pool. And this time, not so much.
10 seconds remaining.
Not so much. Socrates is like, you know, last time I think the big key to dealing with this, it was the sniper pick. And you can't do that here, because if you do, then, you know, you're going to have one guy to chrono, and you don't care if anybody else is inside of it. If you get a chrono on the sniper, and you just get to drop on him, you just win the fight every time, no matter what happens. So... Banning out, they predicted it. They predicted that this is going to be a support. I mean, of course it is. They're not going to be running pause 4 Invoker, I don't think, on this team anytime soon, but
10 seconds remaining.
I do like how they even correctly predicted that it's going to be a 5. They're banning it out.
5 seconds remaining.
Ban out the Wraith King. Tiki, if you're looking at the Faceless Void Invoker combo, what do you want to pick?
Radiant team.
Not that
Something with
guy. That's a crazy ban. Let him have that for sure.
You don't want to let Winx have NP. This is not a fun game.
Yes,
for
you
everyone
do.
besides him.
We see what happens when Winx gets NP in this league. The answer is he gets stomped.
I guess in this league, I have a lot of history of
Yeah.
playing against Winx with NP and just being like a 50-minute boring game.
5 seconds.
That's true.
That was before. That was with the old Ironward train, where it was just super busted to get the triple HP, and your train has like 4k HP.
This is such a ungodly. I would throw up if I had to pay MP against LC, against the Invoker, against the Faceless Void, against the Hoodwink. I would hate my life doing that. That would be like unplayably bad. And of course, you have the awkward situation where it's like, the first Chronosphere is gonna get a kill at that point, right? Like, even the level 6 Chrono and the basic Sunstrike, you're gonna get a kill on Furion. He's pretty squishy.
Right. Pretty sweet. Yep.
So, horrible looking MP game. I think I would have much rather
Dire team pick.
seen. And here's the Undying. Kind of like that. Low on stuns though, like a little distressingly low on stuns on this team. You pretty much got the Faceless Void Bash, you've got the Invoker Cold Snap, and you've got the Hoodwink Net. That's all you've got. I guess the LC Duel, if you want to count that.
Yeah, I like the
Ursa.
Ursa. Ursa's good into Faceless, I think. Or I haven't actually played that matchup, but I do like the Ags combo with Ursa.
Yeah, you can use the Ags ult in the Chrono.
Mm-hmm.
We've had somebody talk about that before. Is Chrono a stun? Yes, but you know, not in a very conventional way, you could say.
Yeah, I think I like the Dire lineup more. I think the Ursa pick is good because you don't really care about the dual. but you have to like kind of change your build for it. You have to be more like the spellcasting Ursa with the Ag Shard, Ag Scepter, Octarine build versus the Battle Fury, Basher.
It's almost awesome, but the Invoker worries me. Like, that's just one of the, like, just one of the last heroes Ursa ever wants to see. Just a guy with, like, you know, he doesn't have that many stuns, but he has a million ways to,
just slow you down,
kite you around. He has the ability to drop damage on you when he's doing so, which is kind of a... Oftentimes you see in LD2L, the situation where people pick these kiting picks for Ursa, but they don't pick anything that's actually going to be able to do anything while they're kiting. Like, they pick up a hero like the Pangolier, and yeah, the Ursa is going to take 9 hours chasing around the Pangolier, but, like, the Pangolier is not really going to be doing much damage to him during that time, not on his own, and thus, you've got great kite, but no ability to actually, like, deliver anything. So you just make him run around, and the only difference is that when he gets you, when he actually catches you and kicks your ass, he'll be really tired when it happens. But the Invoker is a hero that is going to be able to make good on that word. Partially because that Ghost Walk is like one of the worst abilities for Ursa to deal with. Means that he's going to need to take detection with him, or always be around somebody that does, which is not great. Means that even when you do have the detection, if you don't have big status resistance on you, you are going to be... Okay, Looter is apparently this guy's Kingdom Come. But means that even when you do not have the like, even when you can see him, the Ghost Walk, it's going to slow you down if you don't have the status resistance up, and it's just going to make you miserable. Trying to get... excuse me, trying to get the guy. He has the ability to put down the Ice Wall, and he has the ability to do damage throughout this entire process. He can spawn the crappy little demons. He can spawn the meteor. He can make that meteor.
The disarm's pretty annoying.
The disarm,
well.
yep.
Is Lotus one of the ancient players in the league?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I see.
Even as small as it sounds, even the EMP can be kind of bad. Like, this guy...
Get rid of your mana pool.
Yeah.
Only 315 on start. That's insane.
Yep. Losing the ability to do the Earth Shock overpowered is kind of bad too. Interesting, first blood go. Tills gets a pretty decent overwhelming odds. The Sunstrike lands are trying to pursue this further.
Time walk in is a little sketch, but I like the confidence.
It doesn't look like it's going to go bad here. Looter does not have the ability to get out. Double kill. That level 1
would love to see the double kill go towards either the mid invoker get the Midas quicker or the pause one. Not the pause 5. Dying.
Well, at the very least, they walked into lane with more. They walked into lane with more XP, and they walked into lane with 105 gold extra, and nobody really
too much damage for it.
Yeah. The only person who got really all that messed up is the LC, who's like not gonna win level 1 trades with Ursa anyway, so I don't know how much of a big deal that is. Yep, Till's got the right idea here. Like right now, your strategy against Ursa is to be very conservative and overwhelm the lanes once in a while to try and get last hits. It's easy to overestimate that level 1 overwhelming odds. Like you can sit in a field of 50 guys and hit this thing, and it does like 100 damage, right? Like,
well-gotten gains.
Space Cowboy was trying to say double kill for the zombie, and he said double kill for the tomboy.
His autocorrect is going hard today.
That's true. Yeah, you're right, this. I did not even see that happening. Let's take a look at this. That's one good thing, I think, outside of maybe this specific kill, which is just a casualty of being level 1 as Necro. Outside of this specific kill, this lane should be going pretty well, and it's not going to be like an instant game over necessarily. I think somebody killed the tombstone there.
Yeah, it was the Ringmaster to get the kill.
Yep.
Would have liked to see the Necro right-click the tombstone as well. Wouldn't have been an asshole, but I still think he would have died from that.
Yeah, for sure. That was a very dead-looking Necro. Just got a little too excited at level 1. This Necro is going to be favored to do well in this lane, but he's going to need, like, you know, 3 or 4 levels to do that much. Start really being a big pain. Lotus up right now compared to Looter. Cowboy, in contrast, he's doing well for doing a lot of damage, but so much for last hits right now. Only got 5. I don't believe the Ursa. Kinda not doing so hot down here. Maybe having a little trouble being screened by the Tomboy Zombie? True. Maybe having a little trouble being screened by the Hoodwink here? Guess the Hoodwink making problems. Guess we should watch this for a little while to find out. Ursa does have a level on the LC right now, at least. Like, a quarter of a level, no less. Act like half a level with all that. That might have not been the play. Oh, no, Flebo. Discord's lagging? God damn it. Of course, and of course the moment I tab out, it gets a little better. Let's check the disk usage. Yep, 100%. That's what we like to see. Something has got to be using 100% of my disk every Sunday. It's just the law.
Dire's top
Ursa is not going to have boots for a minute. I have to send that courier pretty far back. It's going to get them in the end. Really kill on. Oh my god,
Winks.
Winks.
Get the courier? No.
Winks very low HP. Had to pop one there to not die. Had to pop Lotus there to not die. So low still. It's gone through so much regen. It's going to get a kill though.
Yeah, they tamed tower a little bit too hard. They are doing a pretty good job up top of cutting down the trees to cut down on the Hoodwink's passive.
Yeah.
Curry's so annoying to play against early levels.
Yeah, look at this place. This is Timbersaw's wet dream up here. This can blocked up, actually pulling it themselves just to make it a little worse. No, that's fratricide! Ursa, you can't do this! This is a sin in the Bible. This is some Cain and Abel shit. Look what's gonna happen. You're gonna get tied up on a net by Hoodwink.
It was kind of you.
You have to go through some more regen. There is so very much regen being dumped into Ursa's mouth in this land. It is fortunate in a way that a lot of that regen is just coming off of the CM here, but it is kind of awkward. This is like, Ursa is definitely staying on the map here. He's got nearly as many of the last hits as LC. LC hasn't really been able to get very many denies. Many of these waves have been just right in Winks' mouth under tower. But it is like a massive investment to actually get this to happen, and there's definitely a world where it's like, Ursa gets a decent amount of last hits in the lane, comes out at a decent level, but is like pretty far behind money-wise just from the input in making this lane stay alive.
I'm so used.
Oh my god! But he's
How'd
gone.
that hit?
Yeah, good question. It looked like that shouldn't have hit, but here we are. Bad day for Purple Moon Jelly, who's kind of had 2 lanes of getting his ass kicked by, maybe, not the best safe laner, by this jabroni space cowboy. Take a spill here to this. Very low. Oh, goes down here. I often say, when you have a 3-for-4 trade, that's usually going to favor, or a 3-for-4, a 4-for-5 trade rather. That is usually going to favor the, usually going to favor the one, unless the one is very close to dead after the fact. When you got a 3-for-5 trade though, that favors the one 100% of the time. There's kind of a question mark on this game. Everything else in this game is going awesome except this top lane for the Radiant here. This mid lane is
Got time
pretty
now.
much okay. Face Cowboy. Oh no, he gave him the Lotus set. He gave him the Lotus and he might actually die here. Where is my funny zombie man? He is at mid. Skewering around. Presumably. I don't think that was a go. Very ambitious go.
That's
but
a fair
was,
trade.
But... Winks knows. You know, Justera, you have had the opportunity to see the other lane since season 12. 8 seasons I've been doing this, you know.
Mid looks to be pretty even, 35 to 7, 35-5.
Yeah, pretty much a
Would
stalemate
you expect
here.
anything else?
Neither side really able to take any kind of advantage. In fact, really, both this and top lane now are just turning into just total status quo. Midas out on the Moker. So they're turning into just, not status quo, but just very, almost pacifist lanes. It's like, nobody's killing anybody. Both sides are just getting all the last hits, and there's not really any competition.
I would like to see the Quap stack a bit more and then use her Dream to farm.
They
that's
have,
how I
they
think.
have Chrono here. We have Chrono, and Purple Moon Jelly is level 4, so he does not have to worry about the scythe for a minute.
Tower is under attack.
Got 5 kills in bot lane. That is definitely true. 400 Trustero, 103 on Space Cowboy. That's true. That's why I said the top and the mid lane. In fact, I believe I even used the term the other 2 lanes, but it's very stalematy in the top and mid lane. If I said bot lane, I didn't mean to. You can see it up here. Just everybody pretty much is getting all the last hits, so it's slowing down a little bit for us, but not by much. It's interesting that LC is up for both last hits and considerably up for denies, but also is down like most of a level compared to her, so I'm guessing it's just from Rada spending a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Net
Hoodwink's
experience is probably
like
pretty
5.5.
cool. I think. Are you okay with that? Trying to think, because Hoodwink level 6 is.
Tower is under attack.
I think you want to get those 2 skills roughly the same time. Looter's gonna come in and just scream at Faceless Wood.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Ooh, the long range dagger.
Mm-hmm. The down
Downtown.
dagger. That should just make you blow up.
Radiant's bottom
Oh,
tower
TPing
is
out
under
to
attack.
top lane here, looking to try and get involved. With Invoker doing a gank the other way, but without the level 6 on the LC, very hard to
Radiant's
do.
bottom tower
Earth is
under
just nowhere
attack.
near as low as a Faceless Void was there. There was just not much of an opportunity for that. But you
Radiant's
do,
middle
ideally,
tower
I
is
think,
under
want to get
attack.
the LC and the Hoodwinked level 6 at nearly the same time, because that's a very guaranteed duel if you get the Hoodwink ult off. But you need them to get to level 6, it's kind of the problem right now. Both of them feel like they're stuck in first gear here at level 5. Definitely like to see at some point soon. Okay, Undying is here at top. Oh no, Ursa, he forgot! He forgot the funny Invoker was in the game. This has been such an awesome lane phase for him until that happened. LC level 6 now, but just very low.
Oh, they could have got the. Could have got this again.
Very low. Need to get some regen up here for LC. Supply lines, very important for your offlane. If you are sitting in the offlane just perpetually at, 30% HP or whatever, life is not good for you. You gotta keep your supply chain running time like that. This is a crazy... Okay, I think Flebo didn't mean to do that. Crazy Chronosphere just comes from behind instantly while it wipes out the CM. I heard dual noises. I did not see what got dual.
The duel is onto the CM,
Okay.
which is a little necessary.
Scythe
Would
on
have liked
the,
to see it on the.
Scythe
Would
on
like
the
to sit on the
Undying. It's
Ursa
gonna
for
come
sure.
right back up. Flebo in this situation again is not gonna live. 2 for 1. Let's see how that goes. 15. Well, 3 for 1 actually. Forgot the Undying died because it came back so fast. I'd say 1540 gold sling with the Radiant, just shy of 1500 gold sling for the Dire. Meanwhile, Lotus is going to try and knock out this T2 mid here, but he is going to get hammered on his way out. Hollywood,
No
funnily enough, he
detection.
would have. He did not realize he got the whip out. I think if he had realized he got the whip, he would have. Are you kidding me? 2 Midas? Okay. Agreed. I was wondering why this laying down bot started to feel like it started so awesome. It felt like it was falling off, and the reason is good. Not only did Faceless Flea get screamed at, he was building Midas, so he had no items coming in. So you now got Midas on 2 guys. And it's not even Flebo's birthday. I just want you to know that I looked on the right and I saw the way that chat was lined up. I saw the phrase, "But we love you, Kobold Cup."
Mission top.
Nobody we love more. I've had MS Paint open this whole time. We could close that. Oh no, Space Cowboy got his minus and the first thing he did was die. Take this 1v3 here. The awkward ringmaster thing to stop him from getting away. No scythe. No scythe! Purple moon
You didn't have the
jelly.
mana for it at the time.
Oh no, but he has
Radiant's
this!
bottom tower is under
Oh, I
attack.
didn't see that in his inventory.
Dire's top
Yikes.
tower is under attack.
Not cool, not cool, not cool.
Can't be doing that now. Take out T1 top in the meantime.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, no, never mind. We're not
Radiant's
going to take out
bottom
T1
tower
top.
is
They're going to
under
see a
attack.
TB coming in and get nervous. Purple moon jelly
Dire's top
ignoring the
tower
T1
is
bot.
under attack.
Both teams actually just kind of faint away from these safe lane T1s. So now the Dire one is probably out of the question with 3 people here. I don't think bot T1 was ever out of the question. I think at this point Necro should be able to just not be afraid of this guy anymore for a while.
Dire's middle tower
He's not going to
is
die in a
under attack.
Chronosphere. Especially not with the Space Cowboy having no items. No, not Tomato.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, this is going to take out the T1 while the Dire is going to go to town chasing people at top. They're only going to get the funny zombie tomboy. Big shot on Earthseer is going to take about half his HP. Battlefield nearly done. Only a couple hundred gold away. Space Cowboy's actually going to rotate in here, looking for another funny chrono. I think realizes that Ursa's low, but the Ursa is doing the right thing right now and just kind of running home. So he's
Pretty
going
good
to have to be
chrono.
happy with the chrono on the Necro, which is certainly not a bad thing to have. The Ringmaster ult is going to come out very awkward time, not going to do anything.
Radiant's middle
They're
tower
almost
is
going to
under
get
attack.
the duel out on Hollywood here, but okay, they are going to get the duel out on Hollywood here because Slavo had that. Somebody had Rod of Athos there. It was Invoker. Okay, Invoker had the
Radiant's
Rod of
middle
Athos
tower
there.
is under attack.
Wonder if he's going to try and build the
Dire's
old
top
Gleipnir.
tower is
That'd be
under
funny.
attack.
Tiki, there have been many times this season. It seems to mostly happen during the live games. There have been multiple instances. No, Rada ran with the meatball and died.
Radiant's bottom
Multiple
tower
instances
is
of
under
people
attack.
buying Rod of Athos and then buying Maelstrom this season.
I mean, you want to get the catch in the farm?
There you go. It's kind of
I
sad in a
don't
way. I've complained about it before. It's worth complaining about again. It's funny. It is such an obvious. They really designed an item that looks perfectly to match the original components it was made of, and so now you just have another lightning hammery thing that isn't built out of the existing lightning hammer. Doesn't have anything to do with lightning aside from the little effect when it uses the stun. Just makes no sense anymore. It's very thematically inappropriate. If they're gonna do that, they should really redesign the actual like aesthetics of the item, I think.
I would agree with that. It just makes sense to have Gleipnir built out of Maelstrom. Just
Yeah,
from aesthetics. But can't balance the game around aesthetics.
it's true.
Now they're just bullying this poor CM.
Okay, I was about to say the worst duel in your life incoming, but luckily Tliss realized at the last second there this is not a wise course of action and backed off.
Takes a third of their health for it from the one Quap Dagger.
Yeah. I'll say this much. I don't think I've seen either of these two guys yet, whether Midas is on cooldown or off cooldown. Right? Uh-oh. Bad looking for the LC right now. But oh man, she's so low. She's tanking through so much, but doesn't quite make it. That chases forever. The,
Full
the
opposition.
sad thing is, it didn't even expend the Sonic Wave. They got that kill without it. Very sad. Poor Tliss. We'll say the LC pick does stand out a little bit here as a result. If it does feel like none of these dual targets are very good, and mostly, I feel like for the most part in this game, the dual targets are going to be either A, guys who are 99.5% dead and about to be 100%, or B, just tee-ups for like the Invoker or something. They're looking at uh-oh, baby. No, 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 no. No! Oh my god! Okay, holy crap, they lost that kill. I was never gonna forgive you guys. What a horrible juke that was, looking like it was about to work. Oh, I started sweating so hard.
And they turned it around. They got all damage onto
Radiant's
all
Yep.
four of
tower
those
is
heroes.
under attack.
Yeah. Whoa. They
What
did
are your
have to
thoughts
expend a
on
lot of
the?
movement.
I mean, they used the chrono, but it kind of needed the chrono for that. What are your thoughts on the Midas and the Mask of Madness on the Faceless?
I'm not surprised.
I think it's just a little bit of a data build. I
Oh
would
my
like to
god,
see.
no. They just catch the Invoker. I will say this team is doing a very good, this is a very good jump scare team. This team can definitely 100 to
Radiant's
0
top
you, and they
tower is
are
under
definitely acknowledging that very well. Just many occasions of Looter just like jumping on somebody and ulting.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And by the way, Lotus, you did not just finish saying that you were PMA. You said that like 15 minutes ago. That was a long time, buddy. Oh,
If
no.
Space Cowboy is still here, if Space Cowboy is still here, I would like to see the Faceless Void go straight into Maelstrom after the Midas, and go straight to Milner because they already have the attack damage, and it just
Dire's
delays that
bottom
timing.
tower is under attack.
True. Flubbo's gonna catch a guy TPing in back here. Gonna catch Hollywood. Oh, he's gonna
Good
try and get away,
save.
but just gets dueled here under tower. It's one of those free duels I was talking about.
Yep.
Looter wisely choosing to not scream into the blade mail. What is that?
Would like to see the dual save for the CML because that'd be a good ult to stop.
I would like the duel to be saved at this point for the Quamp. I think you have plenty of stuns for the CM ult. It's just that they were, you know, behind tower there and none of them were available. But you have like most notably the Invoker Tornado, you have the Hoodwink Net, you have, I mean, do I even need to say anything more than that? You have the Invoker Tornado and the Hoodwink Net. Those are, you know, a million miles, right? So,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think at this point you would really want to just save the duel for the Quap. Because the Quap is the only problem we're really having right now. Everybody else, they're just, you know, they're just turning to pulp in front of you. But that Quap is kind of killing people. So duel the Quap again, duel the Quap again, duel the Quap again, no more problem. Very quick Sheep Stick coming out on the Invoker. Interesting purchase at this point. I think it might be early for that, but I guess he's, you know, making $1 million. Well, he's not even first place anymore, so I think a little early for that. I think I would definitely prefer to see either the finish off Gleipnir or the just something more tangibly offensive for him right now. Because he's not dying in like fair fights. He's only dying when he just gets cotton toasted, right? Like this, for example. Though that time he definitely overstayed his welcome, I think. But let's just keep logging into these 1v3s and 1v4s. Not very good. If he keeps doing that, he's just going to start turning into a money pinata for this team. Really not good. He has indeed changed his mind. He's going for the Ags instead. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
I like
more.
that.
Especially when that's
You
going to be
gotta.
a Cataclysm, so.
You gotta. Cataclysm.
Exact
Chrono-
Dire's
enemy.
bottom tower
I
is
don't
under
think I'm
attack.
down with that one so much.
Dire's
Your problem with
bottom
the
tower
duels
is
on
falling.
LC in this game isn't going to be solved by the Ags, I think is the best way to put it. Like, your issue with the duels on the LC this game is going to be that you're not going to win these long duels, these long solo duels. You need items to help change that, not to, you know, make your team less able to help you. Radiant's gonna do very quick Tormentor, going to be put on the Undying here. Not a bad shard, I guess. Is that not a bad shard? Yeah, it's not a bad shard, I guess. Hey, it can save LC from her own duels if she's stupid. Going to Smoke Gank here on the Wisdom Shrine. They're a little late to... Oh no, of all people to be doing it though. That is not good.
Radiant are
We're gonna walk right into him here. No! That's the blink reveal on Ursa. Almost clever. Almost clever. If they did that a little earlier, then that would have been awesome. But...
No! Oh, you hate to see that.
Oh, are you just watching the stream?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I am, yeah.
That's
I was
very-
lagging a little bit.
Man, they're just going to lose Fortress there. He watched that embarrassing thing happen, and then he got jumped on by 5 people.
Quick TP to get some farm. That's what it was.
True. Lotus, most of the way to exit this point. Just about 1,200 left. That's the number in my name.
Sweet.
Echo, working on a pipe,
pipe.
that's a good idea, I think.
I like the pipe purchase.
The heals is a
Have
little
it.
unfortunate that he felt like he needed to get that. That's never an item you want on Necro. It's always something you have to do. It's not ever something you want to do. Your last Chronos give the last one a 2 out of 8. Well, the last one I would get a 0 out of 5 because that's how you got in it. Actually, I would give that last one a -1 out of 5 because that's how many people you got in it. You got 1 teammate, 0 enemies. That's how I rate Chronospheres, I think.
It was one of the Chronos. Yep.
Certainly one of them. Somebody get a clip of that? Like, we really missed out on the opportunity to just clip that Chronosphere, I think. Oh well. At least it'll be in the video, for old time's sake. And you can look at it and clip it on the VOD if you really want to. So just saying, if you're on the Lotus team and you want to have an embarrassing video of Space Cowboy on the record to post in team chat whenever he says something, just, you know, you can just watch the VOD again. There you go.
For being 24 minutes into the game, this just feels very slow paced, which favors the Radiant's double Midas strat.
Yeah. I can tell you why it feels slow paced. It's because 2 guys on the Radiant have a Midas. They can't really fight that well otherwise. Necro, you're a little far out of town, don't you think?
That's what the.
He doesn't care. I assume that Space Cowboy thinks more people are here, and that's the only reason he's not pursuing that. But damn. I was so shocked watching Space Cowboy just watch that happen to him and be like, okay. He is super dead in Chrono if he decides to do that. What is this man doing here? No! Don't jump away from this! Yeah, what the hell are you doing, my friend? Okay, he's realized that life is about to get bad, but he realized it a little too late, I think. Chronosphere is out, there will be no duel today. This is doing no damage at all. Doesn't matter, here comes the duel, he's dead.
Radiant's
It was just a
bottom
delay in
tower
Chrono,
is
that's what it
under
was. I get it. Gotta get all the damage on your team.
That was not good for the Dire here. You have this game that slows down massively, which gives the Radiant the opportunity to use a bunch of their Midases. And then the next event that happens is Ursa just goes to the most dangerous part on the entire map after seeing the Void there moments ago. Watches everyone disappear on the map, and then pauses.
See you later, nerds.
Rage quit. True. Boker's finished the eggs at this point. We saw that in the last fight, a little bit of the debut of that. Is looking at absolutely nothing, has no quick buy items queued up.
I know like the pro invokers would probably go Blink next on the invoker, but I don't play invoker enough or know anyone that plays invoker. Like what would the next item be?
I think I would agree with the pros in this particular case. If nothing else, just because you got the Ursa on the enemy team, and that's something, he has his own Blink Dagger as well. That's something that I think you would really want to have the Blink Dagger around, just to have that one extra ability to increase the mobility gap to keep the kite out on him. I think I would do blink, then I would probably finish the Gleep.
Or a scythe would be the option item after
Could
that,
do.
right?
I like the Gleipnir because that AoE bonus that it has, it works exactly how you would want it to work on Invoker. This makes those things you do huge, and it gives you a massive AoE stun. Massive AoE leash. What's not to like? For sure, that's another option, but I think I like the Gleipnir the most.
I think Refresher would be like the capstone item. Oh, this looks like a dead.
Yep. About to tank this gank on Undying. Really probably shouldn't have ulted, but he doesn't have the instant reincarnate anyway, so who cares? The LC was just kind of walking past this for a second, which is kind of funny. Just like, what's going on here, guys? It's a decent kill. Octarine is what Vokers prefer nowadays.
Yeah.
Got some Mighty Magic showing
BKB
up.
almost done.
Yeah, BKB nearly out on the Faceless Void. Nothing queued up for the Invoker still. This is a crazy Chronosphere. Will it work? Hard to tell. Ursa has the Ags. Ursa has been using the Ags here. They got a dual win on 4CM. I don't know whose Yules that was. I think that was the Necros, and that was a Grief. Tliss is in deep now, though. This is such an awkward fight. Nobody can kill anybody.
The save.
Yeah. Man, Earth is so hungry for this, and he's gonna go down because of it. He's gonna probably clean up here, but Hollywood, yeah, got that instant dust though. That was like,
keep going, Looter, keep going.
Sleep Hollywood's computer for macros.
Yeah, the Quap does feel really strong right now. And she has a Lotus too to make sure she doesn't get dueled.
She has a Lincoln's, but yeah. She literally just got that in the middle of the fight, that's why she kind of delayed that. Why did Looter stay here? But, oh man, almost got that actually, but...
See you later, nerds.
The decision to let the Ursa through and ban the MP definitely showed the opposite of dividends in that fight. MP in that Roche pit dies 10 out of 10 times. Ursa in that Roche pit with the Ags, he got that quick as hell just to stop this combo. Gonna die in that 0 times, or 0 out of 10 times. I guess 0 out of 0 times. It's also technically true, though, the very misleading statement.
This'll come in handy.
I've got that SNK Ags and Lincoln's here. Really just need to, this is kind of unfortunate, because you really need to, at this point, get the duels out on Quap, but that Lincoln Steer is going to make that tough. Saw a game earlier this week where Quap got one of these. Exact same situation, Quap into the LC. And LC never dueled her again, and in fact, the next time she got the opportunity, it was like 15 minutes later, and she had totally forgotten and just dueled the Lincolns and just watched it pop. So.
I think the issue with the Ags on the LC is now your BKB time, because you need BKB basically. Essentially, you have too much magic damage on the Dire.
Not even building.
But you also need going the AC. You gotta identify that you gotta pop the Lincolns on your only target for duel. So you need the helper.
Oh my god. They can't keep being like this. Okay, it's gonna be fun because they're gonna pop the Lincoln. They're gonna pop the smoke on the Watcher there. Kind of unfortunate. Or is just gonna get the Basher out. Shielder in here. I think we're looking for Heart next. I think I'd like to see a more tangibly useful item than that at this point, but it's not a bad one per se. She's gonna. Oh my god, again, I thought this was happening last match, but hallelujah, it's happening. They're going to smoke into Roche. Well, Earth is going to smoke into Roche. The rest of this team is going to just instant get Faceless Void. I really should have used the BKB there, I think. It's actually really sexy if BKB's there. Outside of the fact they're missing the Invoker as travels, it's an awesome fight. But because he didn't use the BKB there, he just accepted his death. No awesome fight to be had. They're gonna just take a free
Radiant's
Aegis.
bottom tower is under attack.
And Aegis or Ursa didn't even show up to that fight. So
Yeah.
quick Aegis, now I can make a big push into the tier 2 mid and bot.
Well, yeah, the T2. I was gonna say I can't go uphill because the respawn timer's too short at this point. Ace is fully gonna be up soon. You can look at the hero level. It's not doing great on the hero level, actually, kind of low. Considering it's a Midas, you know.
Yeah.
Quap got the Hood here, looking at Shiva's guard up next.
Dire's top tower is under
Let's
attack.
see it. Really building a lot around the duel, but I think at this rate it's like fine, because it's like the Quap is at this point still doing well enough damage. She doesn't care. Nobody on the Radiant is particularly tanky. Funnily enough, probably the tankiest person on Radiant is this guy, right? Like
Radiant's
you're gonna be
bottom
doing
tower is
enough
under attack.
damage. It's just going to be a matter of not getting gibbed in the duel, not getting gibbed in the Chronosphere, and this build that LC is doing is a good approach to that. They're kind of forgetting. LC in, duel on the Necro. Cool Chronosphere here. Looking at the
Great
LC is
chrono.
going to get the kill, get a godlike streak. Winks in prison, that's going to be the Aegis down, and I do not think the smart money is that he lives this. Wow, great fight there from the Radiant. I will say this, I cannot believe the Dire didn't see that coming.
All I can say is damn.
Yep, they did that fight exactly. They did that fight exactly perfectly as well. That worked very good because I think they realized the. Very nice. I think they've realized that the LC has Lincolns has this anti-duel build. So instead of trying to fight into that, they drop the duel on the Necro. They have the Chronosphere for the Quap. They don't care about Ursa surviving if everybody else on Ursa's team is dead, and indeed, that's exactly what happened. Two were in the Chrono, two both died in it, the Necro died in the duel, so the Ursa really didn't last. They're trying to recreate the same magic here, I think, on the part of the Dire, but this one's a little harder to do.
Yeah, all your timings are off, just back. Take the win.
No Ursa. Invoker is going to side with Space Cowboy and has built the Refresher next. Still floating a decent amount of gold too. Saving for buyback, I guess.
Worthy
Don't actually have it, but
Dire are scanning.
they have. I'm gonna do another go at the Tormentor here. Got the Aghanims out on the Ringmaster. This kind of annoying thing to get. Tormentor coming out. I just saw Flubbo. Somebody hit it. Okay, it was Undying who hit that. So, the dummy prize, a kind of crappy Hunter's Boomerang. Just found Looter here, just casually hitting creeps in the jungle. Almost got into a bad situation if it wasn't for that Lincoln Sphere, doing a lot of heavy lifting in this game. Radiant doesn't really have any good way to deal with the Lincoln Sphere. I think the only real way they're going to be getting the Quap is in these like horrific 5v1s she bumbles into without Blink Up, or when she's in Chrono. It's like nobody's really good at getting rid of that. The only like decent long-range skills they had to do anything about it are Cold Snap, which you probably don't want to lose, and the Undying W, which isn't that long of range to begin with, frankly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're playing it smart. They saw the Faceless Void pop up and immediately jumped away. A lot of TPs coming in here. Yep,
They see
Radiant
the
doing the
bomb.
right thing. They know the TPs are coming. They get some chip damage out. They get the hell back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Might be a bit haphazard for Dire to pursue this. They got a lot of vision on Radiant's side. Only downside is they're lagging the funny squirrel. Building their own thing here. Graze on the Undying. And Pipe. So that guy is the Overlord. 3k, just 3k floating on Lotus, who still is not going to queue any items. Just in case the commentators are wondering what he's going to build next, yeah. LC going for a Nullifier here, which is an interesting way to address this problem. That'll be both a way to make Necro a viable dual target, as well as a way to potentially break that LC Lincoln Sphere. So decent choice here for the item they want to get. They're building up the side of the Vice on the Invoker with the Lincoln Sphere. I think this is not the Lincoln Sphere, with the Refresher. Oh no, okay. With the Refresher Orb on the Invoker, I think this is a pretty appropriate time for it. Lotus is going to run into the jungle, just going to TP out. They almost got him. It was very scary, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say.
And they smoke on their own.
They just use the Rod of Athos on a melee creep. So there's that. Purple Moon Jelly likely wants to duel the Necro here again, but finding that guy really hard to actually get. Funny Squirrel is going to go down here. Chrono
Tried to do the
on
tombstone.
4,
Oh.
double Cataclysm. Nuclear Bomb strikes the 3 and under club on the Dire. Duel out on the Ursa, that's very brave. He's gonna actually win though. Ultra kill for Lotus. Well, that sucks. And they somehow... Wait, how did that guy die? What? Hold on a minute here. Let's go back a little bit. They bought the Lincolns on the Quamp, falls onto this, gets rooted. Oh, she died of DOT there, okay. I was like, oh, she got out. Nope. Yeah, 4-man Chrono on the Nuclear Bomb, and, well, it's kind of questionable how the Dire are gonna win now. Chelsea had a better game than it looked like it was going to be. It feels like it's kind of rough to look at a lineup with an Ursa and a Necro and be like, this is a good game to get duels, but she's had a fine time doing it. Has been very smart about how she's used this skill.
Been more of a lockdown tool rather than
Yeah.
a get damage and...
Well, I mean, the thing is that even using it as a lockdown tool is risky against some of these guys, because, I mean, it's like you duel Earth at the wrong time, you're just going to get your ass kicked, you're going to lose that duel. It's a very easy target to just lose the duel to. Doing a very good job keeping that. Oh no, they don't have the T2 mid. Using that
Also,
well.
just go buy it.
Yep, that is exactly what they're doing here. That is a pretty late pipe. Hollywood accidentally used the whip at his feet instead of where he was actually aiming. They have the Necro here in a kind of compromising looking position. They're going to do the next duel on the Ringmaster. They don't actually have any detection for Purple Moon Jelly. Going to get away with the Glimmer Cave though, if dropped on him by, I believe, nope, not his brother, by Rana.
2 lanes of racks for that fight is...
Yeah.
And a buyback. Best outcomes for Radiant, honestly.
Yeah, you could say that. It's kind of hard to see how Dire wins now. I think the key, it is admirable that even though the Radiant had the 2 Midases, the Dire is able to keep up with the net worth gap, but the hero level gap is getting pretty big. Goodbye, Tristero. The level gap is getting pretty big. I'm starting to feel like this Invoker, as predicted, is becoming a big pain in their asshole. Very nice. Yeah, apologize for that. Again, like I've been saying, literally could not do this season without the ads. This is a crazy Chronosphere. The LC loses. Gets screamed at by the Quab outside of the Chronosphere, loses a duel. 2-for-1 trade and duel loss right now for Radiant. Pop the Quab Sphere.
Just when you thought the Dire was out, they're showing that they're not fully out. If they stay too long and this Ursa dies.
They need to start killing this. They need to start killing this Ringmaster early in these fights. He's getting a lot of saves with this stupid shard thing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, overall, 2-for-1 trade at this point for the Dire. That's really good. That swung 3,880 gold. Actually, a little bit more than that because there's a gold loss in the Radiant. It's about 4K just swung. Still a 13K net worth advantage for the Radiant, but it's definitely something here. Get the net worth chart again. So got the Mjolnir, got the Eye of Scotland up on the Faceless Void. Ogre's pretty much, I mean, he needs Gleipnir, is really it. He needs Gleipnir and something to replace the Midas. Then he's done. I guess also Ag Blessing, but... Eye of Scotland's where it's from. And yeah, what Tristero said is true. Again, apologies for the ads. Would literally not be able to do the, not be able to do this season without them. And subs never see them, so we got like Twitch Prime sub to do. If you just drop that, you will, yeah, never see an ad again until next month. Apologies for that, but like I said, literally could not have done this season without. Nolly is up
back. Wait,
on the LC.
Nolly. Yeah. Now this LC feels really good.
Got the Gleep on the Hoodwink.
Do they scout out the Roche?
Hey, scan out near to the Roche. Good. Oh no, this is really not. This is not good for reasons I did not anticipate. This is really bad with the years. They don't have the damage here. They don't have enough people here.
They have
What
4.
the hell is this? They're just gonna walk away. Okay. I'm gonna take this Aegis, but not getting the Earth up feels bad. I don't know where Lotus was. Aegis on the Faceless Void. Very good.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't duel the Ursa, even if he was in rage. Still enough lockdown and
Yeah,
you
the
could just
Ags on
Cataclysm.
Tower is under
yeah, the
attack.
Ags on the LC, so I need to be afraid of
Radiant's
that.
middle tower
We also have
Yeah.
Nolly on the LC, which can get rid of his W if he uses that. Fought back. A lot of people don't know that, but Overpower is one of those skills that Nullify gets rid of.
Yeah, the way I see the rest of the game going, you get the tier 2,
Ringmaster can
go
save.
high
Well, was he
ground.
even nearby during that? I guess he wouldn't have known. I don't think he had movement
He was-
there.
is under attack.
Yeah, the Ringmaster was in the triangle with
Has
him.
fallen.
Can at least lock him down until he gets there. But still, there's that at least, I guess. Gonna drop the Roche's banner here. Very awkward. Going to nullify, duel the Necro. This is definitely an attempt on Club Slam. Didn't quite turn out that way. Doesn't necessarily look like it's going to matter. This is going to take out the Aegis off of the Faceless Void.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Okay, there we go. Oh no, wait, never
Don't go
mind.
back in.
Yeah. I was going to say, there we don't go.
BKB, they... No. Time won't stop cooldown.
This is a self-grief. Lynx is going nuts here, though. BKB is off at this point. The BKB is off, and he's... okay. Well, I was going to say he's at Invoker's mercy, but he's actually at the mercy of Faceless Void killing himself, is what he's at the mercy of. He forgot he had used the Aegis, I guess. No, he still is at the mercy of Invoker. Goddamn, okay. Invoker with 5k right now. And is doing the correct action, just using his little crappy creeps to knock out the last set of racks, and that's Megas.
Now have mega.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Dire, despite having the Ursa with Battle Fury, fighting against Megas is still kind of rough for them.
Yeah. Yeah, the Radiant has lays to very casually just keep the offense up as well, with the Invoker stuff and whatnot. And the Dire is great creep clear even beyond that. They have the Quap Blink nuke now, they have the Necro. And Ringmasters and CM aren't that bad, but... Well, you don't have the Forge Spirit pushing if they are just sitting in the middle of this camp, but hey. What do you mean Necro got a mechanism? Don't you think it's a little late for that? The Greaves would have been awesome like 3 fights ago, but it's a little late now. I think that the detour to get Heart is definitely pushed the timing of these greaves so far back that now the utility of them is, to say the least, pretty questionable. Invoker has done what Mighty Midget wanted him to do. He's taking the requests from the entire audience. I don't know why he didn't just backpack his Midas, but he's taking the requests off of the audience. He heard Space Cowboy asking for refreshers, he got that. He heard Midget asking for the Octarine, so they got that. It's true, yeah, Greaves do purge off the Void W, which at this point is really where most of the issues for Necro are coming from. We're gonna get a defense fighter at this point, just get the BKB so I don't just get nullified to death, like. Need that more, way more than Grease could ever help you. Duel on CM 5th resolves instantly. Everyone is looking where I was actually. Everyone's just looking at top of the Faceless Void. Kronos here is going to get the Ringmaster. Nuclear Bomb is going to fall just on the head of the Necro here. He's going to get nullified and killed. Spoil Sport, second...
Refresher?
Yeah, he got the Refresher order. Revealed that here, and that's going to take out the Quap, and it's Sursa versus literally the world. Looter says the G's. We're going home. Lotus says...
PMA Lotus.
Absolutely PMA. What a Flame Lord. What an honest Flame Lord. You got carried, little gum. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, to be honest with you. I think this is like... I think I said it last week. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think this season, Lotus is the guy. I think Lotus is the strongest player in the pool this season. I had to reserve my judgment, but I've seen him against Winx now, and with all due respect, Mr. Winx, you ain't no Lotus. This guy is the guy. I think teams that play against this team moving on. He had a very bad start because this guy hasn't played Dota since 2013, and all of his ideas are from 2013. But he is not incapable of learning, as we're seeing. I think perhaps the play for future teams against the Lotus lineup will be to sideline him. Because I definitely do think this looks like a team. Oh my god, the loading. I do definitely think that this is a team where if you sideline Lotus, you will probably win, right? Like, if you get good single target abilities to mess up Lotus at the start of fights, if you get things like the Duel, if you get things like the Doom, I don't know how much you want to pick that, but if you get things like the Doom, for example, you to just slap on this the Margarina, just slap on the Lotus guy, right? And get rid of him, then you're going to have a lot better of a chance than this Hollywood team, which outside of Winx himself, just kind of went for a lot of like big team fight. I think that might be the wrong answer here. Wankster or Brion would be my pick. There you go. This series, Lotus just absolutely wiped the floor with these guys. The first game was almost 1v9. I mean, the rest of his team didn't do a bad job in game one, make no mistake. But the first game, it just felt like him doing a lot of work. The second game is also him doing a lot of work, though much more of a team effort this time. 4-8 Ursa, yeah, that's rough. That is very rough. Picked it for the Chronosphere matchup. I think underestimated how bad the Invoker matchup was going to be for him. And indeed, as predicted, pretty much every time we saw the Ursa and the Invoker in the same spot, the Ursa died. This guy's a problem. This guy's a big problem. If you're facing the two towers, get rid of Lotus. This guy's not he's with this guy who's not a Pause 1 player, and Tliss has been playing heroes that he doesn't even have a 5 badge by his name for a lot of these games. So if it's not to say that these are bad guys, but they're playing base. You got two base players on this team, between Space Cowboy and Tliss. If you silence Lotus, it's going to be very hard for them to carry games. I think that's got to be the strategy moving forward. Good game by Tricera Flobo, good game by this team in general. To say the least, they have shown that that possibility at least exists, that they can do it, because I think this is a pretty solidly orchestrated game on their part. And I think that's really, it's nice to do this for once, especially after it gets a week where there has been a little bit of flame on the teams, just like throwing, like the Brion team earlier this week. Um, but it does feel like this was just a game where the Lotus team was just comfortably ahead, and the Hollywood team just felt like they were on the back foot out of play. Looter had a pretty good game in the Quap, 10-4-10. That looks like a winning team score. Everybody else fell apart. The Necro was pretty awkward, didn't look right. Ringmaster, a little rough. Very good saves towards the end. It felt like he was getting in the swing of things with the Ringmaster over the course of this game. Like the minute 0 Hollywood Ringmaster did not compete with the end of the game Hollywood Ringmaster. But, overall, just well played game by the Lotus team. It's very nice to see that and just be able to say that without qualifications this week. The Invoker Void combo, they worked out this time. Good job, everybody. If you anything to say before we go to the exit, actually, Tiki?
I have nothing. That was a pretty good summarization.
If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to LD2L.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, but it's not too late to stand in. Need those every week. It is not too late to look at the in-houses, which are actually even happening like before this game. Oh, Space Cowboy says wait. All right, we gotta wait. It's better be good. Space Cowboy, your name isn't even JJ. Why is that your name on Twitch? Shout out Lotus for randomly feeding me Moonshard on notice. Shoutouts to Lotus for doing that. There's somehow in-houses happening like right at the start of this stream, which was crazy. So in-houses are still happening. Q's popping everywhere you look. Go to ld2l.gg. Go to the link to the Discord server. That's where all the action happens. Super duper ultra shoutouts to my subscribers. I said this 30 times this stream. I'll say it as many times as I need. If it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't do it this season. You have been awesome with the support, and I graciously thank all of you from the very bottoms of my heart. Especially the Prime guys who get to have the win-win where they don't really spend money on it. So those guys are the true kings. But super duper ultra thankful for the guys who want to spend some money on me. And we will see you next time for, what will we see you for? Giraffe Heroine. Gonna look at that. Okay.